Hello, hello, Taylor, Gio, Ginger, Macy are both here.
Macy, hey, hey, hey. Enough.
Thank you.
Actually, it's perfect time to start the video so you can see this. So I actually had another video, but it was interrupted and ruined. So back to what I'm saying. So we're here today, and they are both inside, as you can see. We started this outdoors. We really want to see if their leave-ins, if their eye contact, if their cues are working amongst each other. That is the biggest thing. One of the biggest things that we're actually trying to stop is the excessive jumping and the really crazy behavior that could lead to behaviors we do not like. So we are trying to cultivate calmness as often as we can with these two together. So we are interrupting behavior that is too much. You saw earlier when I started the video, these two were like in the face, like doing a lot of crazy stuff. Well, that necessarily isn't the moment we want them to play. Yes, we will allow them to play in the future, but right now we're focusing on training. Can you guys listen amongst each other? Can you stop doing that thing? Can you stop perhaps maybe Macy get out of Ginger's face? Ginger, maybe stop jumping on us, and maybe you two should do something else instead. So we're in the living room, and there are many places in the living room for them to actually lay down or just sit down and take a breather. We're trying to convince them, hey, you can sit or do something else amongst each other. You can relax. You can do so. Another element we're bringing in, which is really important, is another person, which is Gio. Whenever Gio sat down and got close to the couch, these two were immediately jumping up on her, trying to get up on her. These two may have access to the couch, which is fine. However, when in terms of these two together, we really want to make sure that we cultivate calmness again, and we don't want to make we want to make sure that no dog has the chance to resource guard. Resource guard, it can be tenfold, be made so much worse if they're on the couch with you. So when Gio sits down, it's not an invitation for Macy to jump on her. Not an invitation for Ginger to jump on her. It's not an invitation for them to go crazy either. It's an invitation for them to perhaps leave each other alone, leave Gio alone, and maybe find something else to do. Where your enrichment puzzle toys, and when they're separated, or convincing them to lay down on certain spots will come into play.
Leave it. What can we do? Don't jump on me. No, ma'am, leave it.
A lot of things are going on in this session, and I'll do my best to explain all of it.
Thank you.
We really want to see if Macy can learn to leave Ginger alone and vice versa. You don't have to be in her face all Macy, of the time, like right there.
Macy. Good girl, Ginger. Good. Try again, Macy.
It's kind of like Macy's kind of seeing Ginger as a toy in some moments. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to you. Like, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
Don't rush me. She's also really tired, and dogs are prone to doing silly things. More sillier than usual. So she's really trying to push my buttons. That's what I'm looking for. Yes. I'm looking for her to relax. Do less. Stop doing so much. Stop offering so much. She keeps licking Ginger's face, licking my legs.
Jumping on us.
Getting on the couch. If you're getting any of this behavior while both of them are out, chances are, if you don't want to deal with it, put Macy up. Like, just no. You are not going to be allowed to hang out. But if you are willing to work through it like we're doing right now, you need to wait on the moments where she is literally laying down on her own. Notice that I'm not telling them to do anything, because obviously we want you to be able to use your cues when you need them, but we want them to be more leisurely understanding. In the house, we are calm. We don't try and seek attention at all times. And so Ginger's actually doing the most perfect thing. Very good. And it's totally fine if Macy walks away. That's great. But what will not be accepted is her staying in Ginger's face. Hey, we're going to leave it. Thank you. And I'm fine with her wanting to play, but let's say we reserve playtime for outside. Hey, Macy. You leave it, because it's kind of a fine line in terms of excitement level. We always think the inside of homes should remain relatively calm. So even though Macy wants to play, it doesn't necessarily mean that now is the right time to do so. And so we want to make sure that we don't have any altercations. Let's just not have any excessive play or anything like that inside. Like, if we're all just sitting on the couch relaxing, then everyone needs to be relaxing across the board. Macy, thank you. Macy also acts like a toddler, so she's getting more playful, she's licking, she's offering more silly behaviors because she's tired. Sometimes she may be too tired, and that may mean that you can't necessarily practice with her in this moment, so she may need to go up, just like a child.
Just lay down.
She's really fighting it because she knows that we're here, but what I'm looking for is for her to do absolutely nothing, basically. And both of them really. And Ginger's remaining really calm. Macy is the one that's continuously looking to get into something. Hey, Macy, can you leave it? Thank you. Both of them are listening to their leave it cues very well. The only times that we're struggling with particular Macy is when she's trying to seek attention from either me or probably you. She gets that the licky habits. But as you can see, Ginger's doing great. Their behavior this entire session has been fantastic. There's been absolutely no side eyes, all loose body language, which is fantastic. This, again, has been a 30-minute session, and we did actually start this outside because that's where we did this last time. And this time, the only dog that's on a long line is Ginger because in the past, she would have been the aggressor, so to speak. So she's the one that we're a little more not on the fence about, but a little more like cautious about.
Mm-hmm. But that being said, doesn't mean that we're not cautious about Macy. We
right.
definitely recognize that. Okay, we see why you acted
right.
the way you did.
Like,
okay, girl, you kind of justify. So you're trying to convince Macy you don't have to do so much. Gio and I were talking, and it's up to you guys what you want to do. But we find that this whole exercise is way easier if you have a no couch rule with Macy and Ginger both. Macy in particular, because as soon as Gio sits down, she thinks that it's cuddle time, and she kind of gets really excited. She gets very, very excited.
Hey,
we're not saying forever, but for now, for training purposes, if you want to,
Macy,
try to convince them to find somewhere else to lay and relax, somewhere on the rugs. These rugs are awesome, and that way they can convince themselves they don't need to be on you to relax. If it makes any sense.
Very good. Macy, leave it. I'm going to leave it too. This is the art of doing nothing is very difficult. Ginger's doing fantastic. And also very clear, we would not have Macy off leash if she was not listening to her leave it cue the way that she is. Both of them would be on long lines if we felt like the leave it wasn't going to work in regards to, hey Ginger, I know
she's doing the Macy thing.
They're both doing this because they're getting tired.
Yeah.
But it's very important to know things have to work, in order for them to work.
Girls, Macy, Ginger.
Very, very important.
We're not going to let them do that.
Don't let them go into rooms all by themselves. I'm sure you're already pretty good about this, but when they are
Macy
reintegrated in the home, if they are together, they need to be within someone's line of sight. They should not be going off into another room, because if they find something to fight over, you will not be able to stop it. Hey,
Macy, yeah, leave it. I know you love it.
Okay. All right, guys. So as you can see, this has been a very fluid session, mostly heavily focusing on leave it and relaxation, but they both have been doing great. Very happy with their body language and demeanor. That does not mean that they will never have a moment where they're irritated with each other. So it's extremely important that just because you see this session and that you are seeing improvement outside, that does not mean that you get lax. You are still to have them on some type of schedule. Keep it very structured. You should be watching them. If you don't feel like watching them, then you should be sequestering them in their respective spaces, which is why we have set them up. Hey, Macy, can we leave it? Okay.
Thank you.
But they're getting a little silly now, so we're going to go ahead and pick them up because Ginger is asking for Macy to stop, and Macy is not catching the hint. So it's time for us to go to sleep, time for us to go anyway. So hope this all makes sense. We will see you guys soon. They are doing fantastic. We're very happy with their progress.
Yep. Bye-bye.
See ya.